Hi, I'm Lori Whitman and I'm a leader in 4-H, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about natural horsemanship. Natural horsemanship is basically learning to communicate with horses the way they communicate with each other. Here this little mini is playing the porcupine game with the Tennessee Walker, biting him on the hock, trying to get him to lift his hock. We would do the same thing when we're asking a horse to pick up his foot for the farrier. He's more or less just trying to be dominant over him. This is the first time they've ever been together in the pasture. But we learn to play different games with our horses the way they play with each other. We start out on line, and you are on the end of a long rope because that's the safest place to be with a horse. You don't need to hold a horse by the halter to have control of it. Here we're doing some figure 8, and you try to get it where it's mostly off your body language, where the rope is not tight, and you're going just off of cues. Here I'm sending my energy towards my horse Snickers, asking her to go sideways, and then here I'm sucking my energy back in, asking her to come to me. It's more off your body language, and if you need to use your stick, you have that as a backup. Here I'm asking her to go into the trailer. She knows if she doesn't, I'll use my driving game with the string there to say, I need you to go in. Freestyle riding is using a casual rein. We start out by not having contact with our horse's mouth because we want to learn how to communicate through our body language and use our legs and seat more than the mouth. Make riding fun for you and your horse rather than just going around and around in mindless circles in an arena. If you can give a horse a purpose for what they're doing, they're going to enjoy it a whole lot more. They're going to be more willing to do what you're asking. Here my friend Lori's taking her walker Bravo over a bridge, and here she's pulling a tarp behind her, so when they go trail riding, if something should fly up behind him, he's not going to react to it because he's used to these kind of desensitizations. Here she's trying to put a little purpose into what she's doing, asking for him to yield from her leg to open up this gate. If they think that they're doing things for a reason, they're going to be a whole lot more willing to do what you're asking. They see a purpose in it, and they are willing to help you out and say, I can help you do that. They would rather have an enjoying ride themselves than just going around the ring. Once you are used to riding your horse with your body language through your seat and your legs, and you realize you don't need a bit for control, you could try some bridleless riding. Here I'm using my carrot stick for control because I know that I can bend my horse's neck around by using the stick. Now we've done this on the ground a zillion times first, so I know that I can bend my horse's neck with the stick. You don't just get on a horse and with a stick and go out and ride bridleless. I don't want you to do that. You have to have the preparation going into this to stay safe. I just wanted to show you this because I want you to show you that it's possible. If you were going to ask someone to go with you somewhere, you wouldn't grab them by the head or by the teeth and say, come with me. That's the point I'm showing you this for, is because I want you to realize that a bigger bit in rough hands is not the answer to get your horse to be obedient. You wouldn't want to get dragged around by your teeth, and neither does your horse. So it would be great if you could learn that you use the reins last. This is my horse Snickers and I playing at liberty, which means we're playing without a lead rope, and we practiced all this first with a lead rope, of course. And you try, when you're playing with the lead rope, you're acting as if you don't have it. You try to keep slack in the line so that when you do play at liberty like this, it's no different to the horse. They're reacting off your body language, not the pressure of the rope. You just act consistently every time you do something with your horse, on line or without the line. You do the same thing, so they have that respect for you. Here I'm leading my horse by the mane, then I'm going back to lead my horse by the tail. This is porcupine game, which is nothing more than steady pressure. I add my stick for a little driving game if the porcupine game isn't working. This is my circle game, and if I bring my energy back, she should come towards me. If I push my energy towards her and drive her away, she should go away. And again, we've done this online first, so she knows exactly what to do. And your horses just have a ball doing this. As you can tell, she's playing. She's not dreading this one bit. She enjoys this. So the hardest thing I have for my horse, getting my horse to do, is to come to the center by me. She doesn't need me. She would just as soon go run around and play and jump, and to come to me is really a big deal for me and her, because that's our weak point. Me lifting my stick there in front of her is slowing her energy down. If I left my stick behind her, it would speed her up. If I raise it in front of her, it's asking her to slow down because it's breaking that bubble. Here my friend Cheryl is playing with two horses. My horse is the shorter one, Snickers, and her horse is the taller horse, Izzy. And we had been playing earlier this day online with our horses, and they were both responding pretty well, so she thought she would be brave and try to play with two at the same time. Now my horse, even though she's smaller, she is the more dominant horse. And we noticed that she tries to keep Izzy on the outside of that ring. And we think it's because she knows that Izzy has to take more steps than she does to get around the ring. She keeps her right where she wants her. Even though Snickers is small, she tends to be the more dominant one of the herd. So here Cheryl's trying to get them to both jump the barrel. We're trying to do it simultaneously. If Cheryl looks at their hindquarters, that should push their hindquarters away and bring their front end to her. So when you're watching this in a little bit, you're going to see her try to disengage their hindquarters. And if you push their hindquarters away, where does their front end have to come? It has to come towards you. So that's how you get that draw. So we'll see a little bit here. She's going to try it right here. She's walking back and she's asking them to come in. They weren't quite sure they wanted to do that. So Cheryl said, okay, go. Because that's one thing with the horses. If they're not listening to what you say and not responding to your body language, then you just say, okay, you go run. You want to run so bad, you go out there and run. And pretty soon they'll start wanting to come in. They'll put that inside ear on Cheryl, twitching it towards her. That means that they're listening to her. If you look at their inside ears, they're right on Cheryl. Sometimes their heads will lower. They'll lick and chew. They'll snort. Those are all signs that they want to come in. So there Cheryl subtly looked at Izzy's hindquarters, and Izzy came in, and it took Snickers just a little bit longer. Now if you watch here, Cheryl takes all the pressure off the horse, rewarding them by bending down, and when she does that, the horses lower their heads, and that is a way of them showing us that they are totally relaxed and they know that Cheryl's not asking anything more of them. So here when she bends down, they just say, ah, that's great. We can go back to eating. We know we know it's game over and she's finished. Now when she stands up again, they're going to be ready to go back to playing or doing what she's asking them. So here she's playing the yo-yo game, which is forward and back. Here she's just backing them. And what she's trying to do is simultaneously back them, and then she's going to try to drive their front end towards the fence so that they're lined up to take these barrels. Snickers right there is telling Izzy to get where she belongs on the outside of the ring. So we didn't get this set up just perfectly, but it was a really good try. Another thing about natural horsemanship is you're so used to sending your horse here and there and not dragging them around that it's easy to trailer load your horse. The last area that I would like to tell you about is finesse. Finesse is when you're riding with contact, And although I would love for you all to start out on the ground with your horses to be safe, not everyone has that opportunity. I just want you to know that it's never too late to start. Jackie here with Yoder started out in 4-H, and she did all the showing with her horse Ralph, her Arab, and she didn't know anything really about natural horsemanship at all. And now we are helping each other. She's giving me some riding tips and I'm helping her with her groundwork. And she has realized that the groundwork has helped her with her horse, with the riding. She has noticed that playing the driving game and porcupine game on the ground and asking Yoder to move his hind quarters over is now helping her with her leg yielding. Leg yielding is nothing more than the porcupine game. Remember in the beginning of the video, the little mini that was biting the Tennessee Walker with his teeth? Using your spur or your heel on your horse to move your horse over, as she is doing in these leg yields, is the same thing. It's the porcupine game. So what I would like to leave you at the end of this video is just knowing that you can never be safe enough around a horse. Learning your groundwork first will carry over to riding. It is easier for you to learn to ride well if you have the basics of the groundwork done first, and then the rest of it comes easy. So I'm hoping you guys can all come to the clinic on June 9th. Everyone in this video is more than happy to come and help you. So the more horses we get out there on June 9th, the better. It's going to be at Seymour Fairgrounds. And Cheryl will be there, and Lori and Jackie and myself. So we have more than enough people to give you guys all the help you need. I could go on for hours about what natural horsemanship all really entails. This is just a very small snippet of the basics of what natural horsemanship is. So I hope you guys all come out and learn some more. Thanks for your time.